Alright guys, welcome back to the War is Coming double elimination stage. We've progressed past the lowly group stage, and we've got on to much bigger and better things. So yeah, we are here, and it's currently 2-1 to VN. They put up a really good performance so far, and perhaps one that I actually wouldn't have expected, to be honest with you. I mean, VN have got some really good players, but I mean, we're talking about Psy here. Psy are, one of the top 5 teams in this event. And if VN managed to pull a win in this series, that's some seriously good going for those guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of this series goes. It is, like I said, a best of 7, so it is the first of 4 wins, and I mean, we could be there in 2 games if VN gets the wins, but of course there could be many more games to come if it stays fairly neck and neck as things progress. So this map for game number 4 is Flood, and we've seen this map a couple of times, I think, in the group stage. I distinctly remember it in one game in particular, but we'll have a look at the map and see what it's all about. Now, Flood is a kind of hybrid map between land and water. That hybrid, of course, comes because whilst the water is kind of important in the center and for overall map control, most of the resources are available without water control. You've got plenty of gold in the back of your base. You've got a lot of space to build on your own personal little islands or little corners of the map. So it is a hybrid. And whilst it is possible to wall these shallow parts over, having that water control in the late game is going to be fairly crucial and very beneficial to whichever team has it. Now, in the first game that we saw, it was Team Continental, and again, that was another hybrid map, a map where Psy managed to take that early water control, and where Psy evidently proved to be the better team because they got the win in that first game. We could see something similar here, a quick victory on the water, followed up by some really punchy land play. I think that's kind of the kind of thing that we may see. But we'll keep an eye on things. We'll see how it goes, of course. So players going to be docking fairly soon. The Psy team Xing where their water is and where they probably are going to stick up their docks. And we'll introduce the players then as well. So up to the north of the map in the blue, we've got Psy Mr. Yo, or just Yo here. And he's playing as the Japanese. Over in the pocket position on the northwest of the map in the red, we've got Feng Xin, aka VG Paladin, playing as the Vikings. And down to the southwest of the map in the teal, we've got No23, and he's playing as the Huns in the teal there. So that is Team Psy, and they are over on the left side of the map. And it's worth pointing out as well real quickly here that every player starts with 2 scouts even, and that gives them a really nice possibility of scouting early on, giving them plenty of map visibility, allowing them to use 1 scout to lure deer, using the other to scout, and later on as well, if these choke points don't get walled up, then I've just realized something, but if the choke points don't get walled up, I was going to say, then they can easily use them for early attacks. But I've actually just realized something, and I only realized this because I just introduced the players there. If you actually have a look at the map, the teams aren't actually joined. So that actually changes things quite significantly. It's actually much more water focused than I actually anticipated. I looked at the minimap, and I just thought, oh, they're all joined. No, they're not. These joins, these crossing points, are actually between teammates. So the lake or the river even that separates the VN team and the Psy team is not passable. So there's nothing there. And again, in the north, the same. So never mind what I said about this being so much a hybrid map. It's going to be more about water because there is no land crossing to the other side. So anyway, over to the east of the map. My God, I just don't know my east and my west. I really need to learn that shit. The northeast of the map in the yellow, we've got VN Moonite, aka Milo, playing as the Vikings. In the pocket, we've got Robert Stinson in the purple, playing as the Huns. And on the flank, we've got in the green VN Dark Knight playing as the Japanese. So completely mirrored on the civs there, and they've all gone for water civilizations. So ignore what is said about this being so much a hybrid map. It's really going to come down to who wins the water, I think, because yeah, there's no crossing points, which I initially thought there was. Obviously, there's a lot of fish available here as well, so that's going to be another really important factor. And for these guys, getting a good fish boom is definitely going to help them up to the Imperial Age much sooner as well. They already have an archery range, in fact, though, which means that getting up to the Feudal Age, sorry, the Castle Age is going to be even easier than normal. It's a bit of a strange map, like, why do you need the extra scouts? And I think sometimes the map can change so that people or enemies are joined. But yeah, I think because they've got the archery range already, when it comes to going up to the Castle Age, they're going to be able to do it much sooner because they won't need to build a second Feudal Age building. They're already going to have one. They can just build a blacksmith and do fletching, and then they're going to be able to go castle straight away or pretty quickly. So obviously, players are going to be doing a pretty fast water build here. Feudal Age is coming up for most players already. It looks to me like, oh, it's so difficult to tell. Mr. Yo, perhaps Moon Knight, Dark Knight, they're all really close. No 23, I think, going to be the first one up. But yeah, 5 fishing ships out for those guys there. Pretty confident, it seems. And no 23. Quickly up to the Feudal Age. The slowest up to Feudal, though, is... oh, man, who is it? It's so hard to tell. Robert Stinson, I think. Or Feng's In, I don't know. But Robert Stinson seems like he's slightly further behind. He's in the pocket, though. 26 population up to Feudal. Nothing too outlandish. 5 fishing ships. Should be looking for a faster castle time then, judging by the fact he's gone up a little bit later. And the fact that done an extra couple of fishing ships. Now up to 6. In fact, so 3 villagers on the gold and sending everything else over to the wood. Expected galley rush build. We've seen it a million times before. Now we just need to wait for the micro and the action to get going. No 23 sticking up those 3 docks there. The second dock coming up for Feng's In. But yeah, no 23 was the first up to Feudal, and the others are going to be very, very short. Behind. They're not going to be very short. They're not going to be very tall either. They're just going to be just behind him. That's what I meant to say. Mr. Yo now up, Dark Knight up, and Milo up as well. Feng's In just getting up, and finally Robert Stinson gonna hit up in just a sec. He's already done it. So there was literally about 15 seconds between all of the players reaching the Feudal Age there. There is so little difference in the play at this point in time. However, the population is in favour of Robert Stinson at the moment, with 30 population out. 31 in fact now, adding in plenty of fishing ships, and I think going to be looking for a faster, much faster castle time. Blacksmith going up really quickly for no 23 as well, actually. And interesting that he'd do it so soon, but he can afford it right now. Well, I think he can afford it anyway. My god, what's going on? Massive lags. Strange. But yeah, he can afford it now. Not going to let his docks go idle, it seems, which is good, actually. That's very, very good. I think this lag might be coming from the game itself. Like, the game that was played might have been a little laggy, because I know this game dropped, so maybe that's where this slight little lag comes from. Dark Knight just getting up his 4th dock right now. Of course, saving quite a little bit of wood on his eco buildings, so able to get that 4th dock up a little sooner. And the 4th dot coming up for no 23 as well here. No 23's blacksmith was a lot sooner though, so we might see a really fast fletching from him at this rate. Obviously there's quite a bit of deer on this map as well. Feng's In coming in now as well though, looking to take down some of those fishing ships, but they're Japanese fishing ships. They do not die. Double the health, an extra +2 defense as well, so they are really beefy, able to sink a lot of arrow fires before they go down. And my god, that made me jump out of my skin. I didn't expect that, but thank you, Makushi. Donated $5, and he says dollars comes in. Thank you, Makushi, for the dollars. Much appreciated, man. But yeah, on this left side then, Robert Stinson coming in to help out now, and that +1 is done for no 23. Look at that. Look how soon that was. That was insanely fast. Nobody else has got it yet, I don't think. I'm going to check, but yeah, like that was really, really fast. And hey, my goodness, Makushi just became a warlord as well. Hype, hype, hype. Thank you very much, man, for subscribing as well. You are very much awesome, and you are now officially the best new subscriber. Hell yeah! So yeah, No 23 Feng's in getting a big advantage over here. Dark Knight does not have the galleys, and although Robert Stinson now has +1 attack, and he's even using a villager to repair his ships over here, they are a little bit outnumbered on the water. Having a quick look, we've got 12 galleys out for No 23. Not only has he got 12, he's also got the fletching advantage over Dark Knight, and that's pretty insane. That is like the perfect galley rush for him so far. Really well played. Robert Stinson here, going 2v1. He don't care. He is confident in his water ability. But Feng's in. Paladin coming over to send some units as well. Moon Knight, the old Milo there, getting an advantage, it seems, against Yo. He's playing as the Vikings, though, so that is almost expected. Like, if you're playing the Vikings, you have to get the advantage. That's your job. You have one job, and so far both Viking players seem to be pulling the advantage at the moment. No 23 looking fantastic though, chasing those galleys down from Dark Knight. And Dark Knight's got 9 galleys left. He's going to have 5 by the time No 23 is finished with him. Dark Knight trying to escape, but of course No 23 going to intercept and pull those guys down. So we have a little bit of a drop here. I'm going to load part 2 of this game very quickly in. And yeah, so someone dropped and they have sorted it out. Good stuff. So yeah, anyway. Like I was saying, those galleys down here are going to get sorted pretty quickly. Dark Knight going to be losing those very fast. And it's not going to take long, because No 23 going to deal with them and then come straight back up. And hey, Noob just became a Wallow Warlord as well. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Noob. I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced like an oo or an o, but thank you for subscribing, man. Thank you for becoming a Wallow Warlord. And while we're on the topic of Wallow Warlords, actually, this month, January, there is a new subscriber prize competition, and this time it's a custom Age of Empires 2 painting by Chris Knapp. You can request any unit from Age of Empires you like, and we'll get it painted by Chris Knapp and then sent to your house. So that sounds pretty awesome, and that is this month's subscriber competition anyway. So Moon Knight losing his fishing ships pretty quickly here. Not gonna last too long there. Mr. Yo, though, does seem to be falling behind on the water here. So whilst Dark Knight is falling behind, Mr. Yo has also done the same, but Mr. Yo does have a much larger economy than Dark Knight. Dark Knight also lost his fishing ships, and so far, Mr. Yo's ships are still alive and well. He's looking for Robert Stinson's fishing ships at the moment, and you know what? He's going to get them, because Moon Knight just leaving those galleys alone, and Mr. Yo could chase these guys down if only he knew they were there, and it looks like he's going to keep going this way anyway. So Robert Stinson here could lose his fishers, and that's going to be a pretty big deal. It's all about keeping the fishing ships alive. Robert Stinson coming in on this top side, trying to finish Mr. Yo off, but Feng's in. Paladin bringing in the galleys, bringing in the big men, and going to be taking care of those galleys very quickly himself. Those fishers trying to escape, but no, Mr. Yo is there to say no to that. Oh man, never mind. He wasn't paying enough attention, and he went back. He could deny this dock, though. Like, totally just kill that villager and stop that dock from going up. That 5th dock even, from Robert Stinson. Now, the interesting thing is you can actually wall across here, which means that you can actually effectively make a seawall, which is really strange, something you don't normally expect to see. In the north, though, we've got a pretty big fight going on. Robert Stinson's galleys just, you know, getting confused by the looks of things. They don't know which way is north. They're a bit like me. They don't know which way is east and west. They're just going back and forth, and they're not attacking a whole lot. So Feng's in, Paladin, and Yo able to push this right back as Robert Stinson's units crumble. Oh man, that was a top play right there, though. Look at that. Creating that wall, finishing it off. And Mr. Yo now trapped. But Robert Stinson's still going to lose a couple of fishers. But that was really nice. That was really good. He sent his superior force, he walled them in, and then he killed them. That was fantastic. Really, really well played by him. Now, Meanwhile, it's still all about the water. There's no landing attempts going on just yet, but Dark Knight really falling quite far behind here. Castle Age, though, got to be coming in for a few players already, and indeed it is. No 23 is having one hell of a game right now. We've got Archer production coming out at the moment. We've got full water control for him, and the Castle Age is going to be conquered by him first as well. He will be the first to reach the Castle Age here. So fantastic play by No 23. No 23 also with those archers going to be looking for a landing fairly soon, upgrading to crossbow of course, and making some cavalry archers shortly after. There's the transport ship, and it's going to be going straight through to Dark Knight's eco. Dark Knight should be expecting this, given the fact that he's lost the water here, but who knows? Who knows? He is rebuilding at the back of the map. 4 docks back here, rebuilt, trying to get some more galleys out at the moment, but he is falling behind, and he has got a lot of catch-up to do. Being headed off even by Feng Xin here. Got a couple of galleys trying to looking for some fishing ships, but so far not finding too much. And at the moment, Sai really seems to be getting ahead. No 23, just an absolute godlike on the water, to be honest with you. Feng Xin up to castle as well now. No 23 is already there, and Robert Stinson's up to castle as well, but that's it. Like, nobody else is up to castle yet, so it's going to be 2 Sai players versus the 1 VN player who's made it up to castle here so far. And there's that drop from No 23. The transport going across. The archers are in, and they have got fletching already, of course, because the war galley, or the galleys even, had fletching done. They've now got bodkin arrow, and there's the crossbow upgrade as well. So Dark Knight still feudal. Not going to be hitting castle for a little while here, and no military production whatsoever. The crossbow is going to come in and going to ruin his day, let's be honest. Robert Stinson, though, working together with Milo here and pushing these galleys right back. Very well done, actually. Mr. Yo struggling, it would seem, at this point. So I did just notice Dark Knight built a market here, used some resources to buy and sell to get his weapons to the castle age a little sooner, but he's lost a couple of villagers here already. 3, make that 4, and make that 5 by the time they've killed this one as well. Dark Knight is in trouble. He's been disrupted, and he's not really got anywhere to run to, and that's GG. They're calling it right now, and VN are going to resign. A pretty quick game, actually, and the Sai team swiftly executing a fantastic water build, making very sure to land as fast as they can. And there's the GG. Dark Knight, Milo, and Robert Stinson just about to resign now as well. And there we have it. Game number 4. Gonna go to Sai, making this series 2-2. And it's the best of 7s. The first of 4 wins. And so far, being completely drawn up, I could not tell you who is gonna get this series. So really well played by Sai. I don't think there's too much to say about that game, to be honest with you, other than just No 23. What a fantastic play. And for VN, I mean, we could look at that and say, well, what could VN have done better? Faster feudal times, more aggressive galleys, but I mean, just No 23 on this flank was so much faster than Dark Knight, so much more efficient, and he just had an advantage from the word go. It's difficult to counter that. No 23 with the really fast blacksmith as well. That was fantastic, and it certainly put his team ahead. So well played, and there we go. Sai gonna get that second one. It's the second point on the board even. So I'm gonna quickly change the scene here and put the point up for them. Put the music back on, of course.